Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kinder Sound Radio. You're here with me, your host, Juliette Bryant. And today we are talking about the meaning of the solstice. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? And what does that mean as a collective as we approach this time of year now? In fact, in England, in the UK, this year in 2023, the winter solstice falls on the 22nd of December. But generally, the winter solstice, it marks a celestial event that occurs every year. And this marks the shortest day and the longest night of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. And this falls around, as I said, the 21st of December, but this year it is the 22nd. So this astronomical phenomenon has been celebrated and revered by cultures throughout history. And so we're going to look at this significance today. So beyond its kind of scientific explanation, the winter solstice really carries with it profound symbolic and cultural significance as well. And it really served as a focal point, and it still does, for reflection, for renewal, and really to look at this triumph of light over darkness. One of the things that always interests me is, the traditions that we taken on, like Christmas trees, like Christmas lights, and we don't know why we do it, but we do it. We kind of have this blindly following pattern that we do in society. Like, why do we use black pepper? Well, there's actually a scientific reason why black pepper is really good to put on food, which was known by the Ayurvedic practitioners for many moons. So with the winter solstice, it's this time really of looking at the darkness that's around us and finding that inner light. And one of the ways we do that is we put lights up all around. What happens at Christmas? Lights go up, don't they? And these lights are there to symbolize the light that is always there. It's that reminder that even though it's dark, the light will return, the light will triumph. It's that to bring that sense of, yes, we can do this, we can get through this darkness, because that dark time is quite hard for people as well. So we have to bear all this in mind. This is all underpinning and part of what we're in the solstice. When we look at the winter solstice, it's a result of the Earth's axis tilting and its orbit around the sun. And around this time, the North Pole is actually tilted the furthest away from the sun, causing the sun's rays to strike the Northern Hemisphere at their most oblique angle. And as a consequence of this, the daylight is limited. And if you get further up, obviously, further north than where we are in the UK, then the light is even more limited than we have here. And the night becomes this extended dominance. It's this dominant time where the night is ruling, that darkness is ruling. And obviously in the southern hemisphere, the opposite's happening. So that it's the summer solstice and it's the longest day and the shortest night. And that's really this celebration of the light, celebration of life. But we're here in the northern hemisphere, and today we're really looking at the winter solstice and the meaning of that. So when we look at this deeper meaning, what is the symbology of this? Symbology of the darkness and the light. And the prolonged darkness associated with the winter solstice has inspired a myriad of cultures, religions, and this spiritual interpretation. Many ancient civilizations perceived this celestial event as this cosmic battle between light and dark. And often this was embodied by deities and mythical figures. So this symbolism of the darkness and the light transcends this, really delves into the realms of human emotion, this existential pondering of the cyclical nature of life. And then if you look at that on another level, you have the cultural and the religious celebrations of it. So in various cultures, the winter solstice is woven into their traditions, infused with the unique rituals and celebrations. So, for example, in Norse mythology, the Yule festival celebrated the return of the sun, while the Romans marked the occasion with I'm never good at saying things, Saturnial. I might have said that wrong, but it was a festival that was dedicated to the god of Saturn. And in modern times, Christmas, with its emphasis on light, warmth, and rebirth, is celebrated at the same time, incorporating a lot of the elements of the ancient solstice festival. So for me, you know, when you look at a lot of these new religious kind of practices, the Christian church adopted a lot of the ancient traditions. So, you know, the solstice, it said that the sun returns, the light returns, it starts coming back. You have a few days around the solstice where the sun is still, where you have this darkness, and then gradually the light starts to come back. And this, in the Christian church, they depicted this, the light being born as Christ being born. Or when you look at it on another level, it's that Christ consciousness coming into play. So what is the Christ consciousness? Well, it's that love. It's really that care, that love for others, and that deep desire to help and serve, be of service to humanity. And so really the winter solstice is incorporating these things, and I believe it's kind of been hijacked a bit, you know, by, you know, most of the old pagan traditions were hijacked by the Christian church. Don't get me wrong, I think it's lovely to celebrate Christ and that Christ-like energy of giving, of service. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. So if we look at the winter solstice in terms of the indigenous traditions, many indigenous cultures around the world have had this deep connection to nature. And as you know, my show focuses a lot on this earth connection. And the winter solstice really holds a special significance in a lot of indigenous traditions. Many of these communities celebrate this event with ceremonies, with dances, with rituals to really honor the earth's cycle. So the solstice often serves as a time for reflection, a time for gratitude, a time for reconnecting to ourselves and also to the natural world. So really, this time of year emphasizes the importance of living in harmony with our environment. And for me, I very much felt it this year, you know, this desire to go within. In our society, we kind of go against that so often, you know, in natural, in the world we live in, where we have artificial lights, and we fight the natural cycle, because in ancient times when it got dark, you would go to bed, it was cold, you would all cuddle up, and when it's light you wake up. So this time of year became very much more of a hibernation, more of that time of going within, that inner reflection, and also that renewal of ourself. You know, if you go all the time, you burn yourself out. And this is what we face in our society, a society of burnout. You know, I see it a lot in my work, people with adrenal fatigue constantly, because we are programmed to go non-stop, especially with the advent of phones and all the rest of it. We don't have that stilling. And this is what's so important, that time to shut down, to switch off the mind, to switch off everything, and just be, to be with nature, to be with family, to be with yourself. And that's such an important part of this, to be with yourself. If we don't reflect, if we don't have time for gratitude, if we don't have time to rest and renew, we can't effectively plant those seeds. So for example, it's like planting seeds in soil that has been tilled and used and burned out, basically. And we don't want to plant our seeds in soil that has been raped of nutrients. We want to plant our seeds in ripe soil, rich soil that's ready to grow. And then we're going to reap the rewards in the spring and the summer with a great harvest because we will have grown so well. This is what is so important. And this is what this time of year is saying. Stop. And for me, I got a little bit of a cold. I don't usually get colds. It's not too bad. You might hear my voice being a little bit more sniffly. And it's because my whole being is saying, slow down, Juliette. You've worked so hard. You've done so much. You've served so many people. Now is time to serve yourself, to rest and recover and go within. And I'm going to be doing that this Christmas. I'm not, and it's very hard. It goes against a lot of my natural things of wanting to help. You know, I had a friend asking if they could have a session, and I said, after tomorrow, that's it. I'm not doing anything, even for friends. I'm not doing it because I just want to switch off. I want to switch off and be with my kids, be with my husband, and be with my in-laws and my brothers, and be with myself and just be still. So I invite you to have a think right now, to reflect, to have gratitude, and to think about how you can create some space to be still, to have that time in your life to just slow down. How you can have that time to come back into balance with nature and look at the signs. You know, this is the important thing. What is nature showing to us? What is she giving us? Because she's giving us gifts by just noticing. Everything is bare, everything's much stiller. And that's because that's how we should be. We should have spread and got rid of our excess baggage in the autumn, those excess leaves, all the things we do. We should have shed all of that so that now we can be going, okay, I'm ready to stop. Doesn't mean stopping forever, just for a few days. So the winter solstice really invites you into this introspection, offering you a moment to look inwards and to reflect on a passage of time, to reflect on what the year has brought you, to reflect on your personal growth. How have you changed as a person in the last year? And to look at your cyclical nature of existence. You know, for me, as someone who is in my perimenopause now and shifting into that wild, wise woman from the mother, renewing and looking at myself and looking at this cyclical nature of my aging is really important, but looking at it lovingly with compassion and gratitude is amazing. So it's really a time, it symbolizes the potential for renewal, the potential for transformation, mirroring the gradual lengthening of the days that follow this event as the longest night gives way to the longest day. So the solstice becomes this metaphor for overcoming challenges and embracing the promise of that brighter day ahead, embracing those seeds and thoughts and ideas, that creativity that you are planting now. Now is the time to plant. Now is the time to cultivate all those amazing things you want to do, to sit and think about that, you know, to have that creativity. When we're busy, go, 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 go. What happens is we don't have time for the creativity. We don't make space for new inspiration to come in. What I've learned in my business, in my life, is that if I don't stop, if I don't have that time for stillness, for meditation, for whatever it is, then I'm not going to have the inspiration to keep me moving. And if we get stuck doing the same old thing all the time, then we never grow. And growth is so important. So this is what this time is offering you, if you choose to embrace that. So when we look at the darkness and this metaphor for overcoming challenges, the darkness doesn't last. Sometimes, you know, when you're in a challenge, it feels like that darkness is engulfed you and it's going to be there forever, but it won't. And this is a symbol of that. And the lights, you know, lighting candles, having Christmas lights, you know, all of these things are a symbol of remembering the light will come through the darkness. And so often it's through the darkness that the most light can come. So when we look at this winter solstice, when we look at it beyond traditional religious and cultural observations, the winter solstice has found a beautiful place in contemporary spiritual practices. What I'm noticing, and I am one who does it, is, I have practiced and honored the festivals of the earth since I was a teen, a long time, irrelevant of my cultural background or my religious beliefs or any of that. Because for me, it's about honoring the earth. And many people use this time for meditation, for mindfulness, for setting intentions. So the solstice really serves as a reminder to seek balance, to find that light in the darkness, to cultivate a sense of inner peace amidst the hustle and bustle of modern life. And one thing I invite you to do this solstice, whether it's on the 21st or on the 22nd or on the 23rd, it doesn't really matter, or even on the 24th, but is to have some time of stillness. My husband Giles, on the 23rd every year of December, he has a whole day of meditation, silent meditation, where he is, well, he might not be silent, he might be singing, but he is not communicating with anyone else. Well, from 10 till 4, he shuts himself off and he has this beautiful day, and it's one of his best days of the year. He usually writes a new song and he has beautiful inspiration and creativity that happens because he has allotted that time. And one of the tendencies in our modern world over the Christmas period is people finish work and then they're like, oh, I need to chill out, I need to rest, I need to recover. So what do? They start drinking loads of alcohol and eating loads of crap food. And this isn't very healing in any way, shape, or form. That's not giving yourself that stillness. It's actually distracting you even more from that stillness and from that recovery and that rejuvenation. Yes, by all means, have some merriment, but have it in balance with finding that stillness, with having that space for yourself. So when we also look at the environmental side of things, the winter solstice is really a reminder to connect with the natural world, to witness the changing seasons and the rhythmical dance around the earth and the sun. And it's also a chance to cultivate a deeper appreciation for the planet and a sense of responsibility for its well-being, because our well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of the earth. Now, I'm not a person who is up for a lot of the climate rhetoric that is going around, but I am very much someone who believes in supporting the environment and being at one with the environment and being mindful of the environment. All of this for me is key. And for me, when we honor the seasons, when we honor the festivals that are deeply held in our culture, what we're doing is we are honoring the earth, and we are taking that time to acknowledge ourselves as part of this beautiful creation, not separate beings. So really, when we look at the winter solstice, it's a beautiful blend of a scientific marvel, a cultural richness, and it transcends barriers and boundaries of religion. And really, it resonates with people from such diverse backgrounds in this coming together to celebrate the ancient rituals, to celebrate the earth, to celebrate our place on the earth. And the solstice really, for me, serves as a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of humanity with the cosmos. You know, this incredible cosmos that surrounds us that is so mind-blowing. The solstice is that chance to show us, to remind us that we're part of this. And for me, that reminder reminds me of how amazing I must be, because I'm part of this incredible, intricate design of how it all works. I mean, it's phenomenal. So as we navigate this darkest night of the year, I prompt you, I invite you to find solace, to embrace renewal, and to celebrate the triumph of light over darkness. In this beautiful tapestry of human experience, the winter solstice stands as a timeless symbol, inviting us to pause, to reflect, and really to welcome in a promise of a new dawn. So I invite this into you right now. And we're going to finish with a couple of songs by the Perpetual Choirs. And the first one I think is quite apt because it's a new day, it's a new dawn, by the Perpetual Choirs. This is a very, very beautiful song. So I hope that you enjoy this. And after this, we'll play Feel the Sun again by the Perpetual Choirs, a beautiful song that I sing on. And I think it's appropriate to feel the sun because sometimes we need that reminder, don't we, to feel the sun shining down on us, even if we can't see it. So in the darkest night, in the darkest day, in the longest night, in the shortest day, let's remember that sun. Let's remember that light. Let's cultivate our inner light. I hope you enjoy these songs. You've been with me, your host, Juliette Bryant, on Kinder Sound Radio. This is Transformative Health. Please do check out the other amazing presenters on Kinder Sound and do support our channel. We have a Patreon which you can donate to if you like what you're hearing. And please do share your feedback. We love to hear how you're getting on. And like and share so we can spread this message of peace and positivity, of kindness and love to all the time. Much love from me. And here is the Perpetual Choirs.